Live from Buck Island, British Virgin Islands. This is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, aspirational, international, keenly awaited, daily created, highly anticipated edition of the afternoon swing trading floor with your humble host, Jerremy Alexander Newsome, with another daily dose of mentally delicious brain food, reminding each of you to love life, live life, and trade it. Folks and friends, team and family fans from around the entire world, how are you all doing today? Hope you're doing incredible. My boy Gustavo, what's up? Chris is in the building. Ariel, Rhea, Sean. What's up, Sean? Dude, you've been hanging out with my girl Svet a lot. I love it. Mr. Jurgen, what is up? Tad, Justin, Philip Williams. I do have to say this, Philip, and I mean it with all sincerity. I miss you, man. Hope you're doing phenomenal. Love you, bro. Sammy, how's it going? Yeah, sweet. Apologies for not being in the afternoon room yesterday. It was not my intention. I wanted to be here. I missed a flight that delayed me and made it inoperable. Inoperable? I don't think that's the right word. Maybe it's the right word. Couldn't be here because of a flight delay. So, yeah. Sean, that's so funny that you mentioned that, man. Sean says start flying private. Dude, I'm gonna start working that out. I got to figure out how that works. I mean, not figured out. Like, I know how it works. I just, I got to start like making that a goal, I think. Yeah. Jonathan Wage says, you just need buckets of money. Well, a lot of you got some buckets of money today. Congratulations. My boy Tage, straight up crushing it out there. There's a lot to cover, and we're going to cover a lot of it today. Honestly, congratulations. I mean, there was a lot of you that did very, very well today or the last 2 or 3 days. Now, I know that this is pretty much a very rare event, but type in a 6 into the chat pane if you can see what the SPY did over the last 3 days, even though it's never done it before. It's the first time ever. Type in a 6. All right, I'll give you a hint. Type in a 6 if it's bounced off the 50 EMA, and you can clearly see that. Hey, all the 6s, right? Bounce off the 50, 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 bounce off the 50. So there we go, right? So a lot of people actually did buy the dip on last Friday. So today is Thursday. So you bought the dip off the 50, right? Buy low, sell high. That was the yield, AKA like dividend day for the SPY. So the market dropped a little bit on Friday, definitely scared some people, had a little bit of a panic, and then we kind of got a little bit of a rally. So it obviously depends on what you're in, but if you're in the Momo right now, like if you have the algorithm or the, the automated system that we are doing, we have a program, a class that's going on live right now where everyone is setting up their automated strategies with Jonathan Wage and Dustin Drummond and my boy David Potvin and obviously Matt DeLong. So if you guys are in that, you're up like 21% on your accounts today. Momo was hot. Now, again, there's times where it's not amazing and there's times where it is amazing. But Jonathan Wage, would you remind me, sometimes you have to lose to win. Is that true? Is that really the case? Jonathan says yes, but he said it in Spanish. Okay. I mean, it seems like that's correct, but I'm very, very happy for those of you who were here. You didn't give up, right? I know that there were a few weeks and months in March or April that might've been a little bit challenging, but if you played it well, you did awesome. Jonathan said, scared money doesn't make money. No pain, no gain. All those things are correct. So anyway, awesome. Today was really, really fun. We're going to go through it. Here's the cues and the cues. I mean, this is, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this. I'm not. This is one of the most beautiful wave rotations that I've ever seen. Really perfect, really clean, very simple, Very, very easy. So I've back traded this one twice today when I was in a coaching session. Let's back up to here and let's just walk through again what I think is extremely easy. All right. Type in a 4 if that's a pretty bullish pattern. Okay. Bull candle, shave top, closing at an all-time high, closing above resistance. All right. So even though it's a bullish pattern, are we buying right there? Is that where we get in? We're like, okay, buy, load the boats. No. All right. So we're going to wait for a retest, right? We're going to buy the dip. We got 3 bull candles in a row. We got a shaved bullish candle. Emily, is the trend bullish in this scenario? Absolutely. Right. Tons of bullishness, all things looking good. Just a lot of greatness going on there, and things are looking powerful. So what we're looking for in this particular situation is, again, a retest, buying the salsa, right? We don't buy the dip at RLT. We buy the salsa. We think salsa is better than dip. I think everyone can agree. Dip can be all kinds of things, but salsa is always delicious. You can have artichoke dip. You can have spinach dip. No one likes either of those two things. Everyone likes salsa. So the next candle that comes in, here's a retest. It's beginning. Right? This is the retest. This is the retest. There's the pullback to the 10 EMA. Also, would you guys agree that this looks like a hammer style candle with nice bear volume? Sammy says it's hammer time, right? My boy Sammy getting out his parachute pants. He's starting to dance. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Sammy do the typewriter, but my man can type right. Okay. So you have a really nice hammer style candle at a resistance, big bear volume coming in, looks great. So you're in on that candle, most likely. If you were planning to get in, you're already in. If you're trading the Qs, okay? I didn't take this trade. I don't have any position on this particular setup. There's a lot of other individual stocks that I got in, not this one exactly. I'm just kind of walking you through it. Next candle, bang town. Boom. You're in. I mean, like, it broke out, it's closed. If for some reason you're not in, then you're setting up a pullback to the hammer candle, right? You're getting filled on that day, and there's your hammer, and then pop goes the weasel. All right, that was the last 2-3 days. Just a really, really classic, easy rotation. It doesn't feel like it, but that still took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 calendar days. 6 calendar days. So waiting, being patient, letting the rotation come in, letting the cycle come in, letting the retest come in, and then buying the dip, buying the salsa worked out beautifully. My boy Andy says, shout out for your book. My wife and 2 kids listened to it this past week, and my wife is listening to it again. What? She's listening to it twice? That's amazing. That's so cool. Thanks, brother. Shout out to Andy's wife. Thank Andy's wife for listening to my book on repeat. That's amazing. Uh-oh, my boy Jeeves is yelling at us. All right, guys. So here's the Qs. Here's the IWM. And the IWM is still kind of trading sideways, but it looks beautiful. Bouncing off the 100. One white soldier on Monday. Tuesday's looking good. Dow Jones, right, had a really, really good pullback. I love this candle on Monday on the Dow. Again, what a great gap. What a great gap. Look how many bear candles in a row are on the daily chart. What do you guys think? Who can count that high? Mike, what do you think? Let's get out both hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 bear days in a row on the Dow. I don't think that's happened since, I don't even know. Like, I probably should have done this at an earlier point in time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, what? That's weird. The last time it had 10 bear days in a row and it had a massive one white soldier the next day, it crushed higher. That's so strange. And you got the one white soldier followed by another bullish candle, followed by a little bit of a retest and then a higher move. What? So if we go into the present day, Dow Jones, Bangtown, 10 bearish candles in a row. Look at this gap. Oh my gosh. That gap on the Dow Jones on Monday is what life is made out of. I mean, that is such a bullish gap. So even if you are still newer at trading, you're going to want to really study that gap, because I did see 3 or 4 traders in Slack saying, oh, you know, the market's it's too high. We can't go higher. We got to roll over. I was like, bro, we had 10 days of selling in a row. This is one day of a pop. Like we don't have to, it can be a huge bull day. So anyway, long story short, it looks really good. And I'm expecting a little bit of slight bullishness from here. We still have a lot of bullish trade setups. We're going to go through them. I'm really excited because I love all of you and I've missed you. I have so much to report. There's so many stories I got to tell you. And there's just so many things to catch you up on. But I'll be here for the next week and a half. And then I'll be back into Nashville. I did get a different room, Jonathan, and not a better one, just a different one. They're all really, really, really cool. This is just an entirely different spot. This room is called, what's this room called, babe? Peace. This room is called Peace. Yeah. Oh. Maloney says, I would like a refund for the Jan travel indicator. Yep. Well, the thing is, I think now that I'm just traveling internationally so often that I'm really pushing it to the limits. But what I have noticed is, regardless of when I travel, wherever I travel, internationally or not, we get big moves in the market. That's pretty much the big moves up or down. Because yesterday I was traveling all day. I was booked all day long because I wasn't traveling private. And that obviously cost me some serious day trading money. Anyway, I just missed you guys so much. I'm really thrilled about being here. I'm sorry I'm rambling. Let's keep diving into the good stuff. We got a lot of stocks that were requested to look over. Let's go ahead and dive in. I don't know what this is, SGBX Incorporated, but this candle looks really good. Look at this. Nice consolidation, nice hammer. You got a hammer followed by an inside hammer off of the 100. That looks cute. Weekly chart looks pretty okay. You're battling the 50 EMA on a weekly. So probably something like this. And then the monthly chart doesn't look terrible. Yeah, it looks all right. This is one I could set up bullish for sure. One more day of sideways movement, and then we can see if it can pop. I will be here tomorrow, unless something kind of radical or weird changes. But I should be able to be here tomorrow afternoon. All right, SGBX, got it. Okay. So we'll come back to that one. ARLO, there's a few people who are in ARLO Technologies. I think Edward Lynn is still in and kind of waiting it out, being patient. So if you're in ARLO, I'm not personally in this one at all. You had a nice little breakout and again, a retest the next 2 or 3 days. So, you know, here's the breakout, here's the pullback. My boy Mike has January 2023 leaps. You can see that you had a really cool hammer from Monday. We broke out today, close above resistance. You know, I think it looks good. Long-term averages are doing their thing. Here's the weekly chart. The weekly chart looks pretty. I mean, you're above all the moving averages. So the trend, the overall pressure that's building is definitely bullish. That doesn't mean that it has to go up. But as far as risk reward's concerned, I mean, Mike, who has leaps, probably has a stop around 5. If it closes below there or is below there by November or something, it's probably just he's probably gonna bail and move on to something else. But can it go higher? Absolutely. This one is building some pressure. I mean, you're above all moving averages on all time frames. It's going to try to start to get going soon. I like it, Mike. Next on the list is ASTS Space Mobile. So Space Mobile, this is kind of what I drew the other day. Kind of ironic how Mr. Squiggles nailed this one. Those long-term averages doing their due diligence, hanging out. I like the lower shadow that got thrown in today. I like the location. This is a random SPAC that is building pressure and can pop. That's really it. That's all I got. So weekly chart, again, a lot of volume. Doesn't mean it has to go higher, but it means it's probably worth watching just in case. So I'll put down the list for later this week. Let's put on the list for Thursday, and we'll come back to that one and just kind of see what's up and what's happening. Okay. ASTS, nothing super cool. Next on the list for today is ANY. This is Any Sphere Corporation. And what do we got here? This is flat in the middle between the 100 and 200 simple. Wow, that looks like you'd want to take anything other than this one. Here's the weekly chart. I mean, the 100 is acting as a support. That's kind of cool. The 200 is going to act as a resistance. Monthly chart, you got, the 20 is going to hold this one down for a little bit. Again, I love the volume. Probably worth keeping an eye on to see if it can break above the 20, mostly because you have the 20 holding it down and you have the 200 on a weekly holding it down. There's going to be some resistance. I do like the volume. That is kind of cool. Absolutely could go higher. Let's give it a week or two and see what it does. I think the wave count that Sammy had on this one, or maybe it was Sean, was a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We will know if it closes above this wick in the next 2 or 3 weeks. All right, Snapchat, SNAP. So there's actually 2 or 3 traders that had some really good setups on this one. So this was our official swing trade. And did it trigger, my dear friends? The answer is no. However, we had a few traders who have recently started learning a lot about credit spreads, because I've been talking about how I think this market's gonna be really good for option selling. Did some traders get into some credit spreads and some bull put spreads on Snap? What do you guys think? The answer is yes. So this candle, when this big selling candle came down, even though it didn't trigger our directional entry, I had some traders get into some credit spreads down here, put sales and bull put spreads. So they're making money as it kind of bounced and trades sideways, but it didn't trigger. So what we're going to do is go ahead and cancel that one, and that'll drop our buying power and leave us open for something else. So Snapchat, go ahead and cancel it. We'll move on. Elastic is the exact same. I'm really bummed about this one. I'm pretty sad. Yeah, we set this up on this day right here. That was the day that we set that trade up. Look at this hammer. Perfect hammer. Would you guys agree? I mean, 10 out of 10. Mike says this one trades so well with Momo. It really does. So there are some traders. I've heard of rumor. I don't know if this rumor is true, but I heard that there's a rumor that there are some traders who just trade exclusively with whatever Momo says. They follow the stock, and if it says go bullish, they go bullish. Momo's been bullish on Elastic since June the 3rd. And if you were still in Momo since that day, congratulations. It is still bullish even today. So very, very nice. We did set the trade up. We did miss this one by 70 cents. We tried getting in. It was a perfect hammer. I missed it because I suck. So we can cancel that one too. So we can cancel that open order and remove that buying power, and we'll see if we can get in again. Mike says that he is sure Matt DeLong is in this one. Yes, Matt is in on Elastic. It's one of his stocks. It triggered Momo, so he got in. Yep. Plus the daily Momo went bullish on May 26th. So when the daily is bullish and the 78-minute is bullish, type in a 4 if you think that adds credibility to the trade. right? The more time frame confirmations you can get, the better. Again, that's just my opinion, but I'm just simply saying I feel like it gives you a little bit more credence to a trade. All right, OZON Holdings. This is one that I said if I lose on, I will try again. We haven't lost on it yet, although we did have one semi-scary day on June 15th. You have an inside candle followed by an inside candle followed by an inside candle. Pressure's building. Let's see what happens. Overall moving averages look good. Daryl says, is there a scan set up for Momo? Of course. Absolutely. So that's the daily. All moving averages have crossed. Looks really good. Here's your 100 simple. You're actually above the 100 simple, which looks really nice as well. Here's the weekly chart. Weekly moving averages look okay. You have a hammer, you got a high wave, got a bear candle. Those look pretty cool. So in general, OZON looks nice. I mean, we're in it. I'll move my stop loss if we start a little bit of a pop. I don't actually think that we're going to hit the target on this one. That'd be pretty wild. Although we could, and that would be fun. I don't necessarily think it does. This trade I'll probably hold into July, although I am having a pretty profitable June. So I don't necessarily, quote unquote, need this gain because it is kind of small right now. I'm allowed to hold it into July, no problem. But if I go up on all of our swing trades, you guys know the rules, right? If we go up on all of them, then I kind of have to close them out, especially if it's towards the end of the month. We will see. Right now, we're not up on all of them, but OZON is up small. AUTL, this is the one that we are down on. And we did buy a pullback from the breakout of this June 11th volume candle. So we got a pullback, we got filled on the pullback, and now we'll see what it does. That's pretty much it. I didn't get a chance to update this one, although when I saw it today, I thought to myself, yeah, I probably could have lowered that entry. So if you notice right here, we got, what, 4 cents away from triggering, and we already kind of started bouncing a little bit. When that candle came in, if I'm around to watch the trade, I think I should have moved it to here. Putting it the top of this candle, the top of this candle, the top of that resistance, 699 essentially. I wasn't around to do that, so I didn't. If I did, I would have gotten not filled on this candle, and then would have gotten filled on this candle. But again, you're never going to get the exact low anyway. It doesn't matter where you try to set your trade up. So got filled, stop loss at 611. We'll see if we bounce. Target is 879. Weekly chart. Again, a lot of volume came in. We'll see if we bounce. We did close above the 10 to 20. This is kind of retesting, and that's about it. So we are in that one officially, AUTL. Okay, there it is. Speaking of, we also got filled on PUBM. So I made this update yesterday in the trade journal. This was our old half an hour entry up here at 35.96. I set that trade up. I believe it was this day right here. So I set up an entry to get some on a pullback, and then I set some to get in on a breakout. Well, this candle comes in, looks really nice for both. And then this candle comes in, we get filled on the pullback, but not the breakout. And then that candle comes in. Arguably a perfect hammer, almost stopped us out of our half an hour entry. So what I did is I lowered the entry from here and just put the other half an hour, as you can see, new bullish stop limit entry for the other half an hour back at 34. So I just took it and just lowered it and put it above where my old entry was, pretty much where this hammer is. And we got filled today on that move, which is really nice. So that's cool. I don't necessarily think the target's going to hit at 45.85. That might be a little bit of a stretch. This is the weekly chart, right? So the weekly looks kind of cool. There's a lot of moving averages to fight through. Monthly chart, kind of the same thing. It looks kind of nice. I'm relatively intrigued by it, but since we got such a low entry, I'm going to move the target to 37.62. That'd be about 1.4 hours, and I'd be pretty happy with that. So let's pop over here. swing trades, target for PUBM. Okay. Target and target. All right, cool deal. So 37.62, we're at the 50 EMA. Again, if you want to hold for longer on this one, you're more than welcome to. Totally fine. All is good in the world. NCTY, this is another swing trade that we did get triggered into. We did get stopped out of it, unfortunately. Had a bunch of thirds. So we did lose an R, but at least we only lost one R. I mean, could have been a really, really good trade, and it wasn't. That's pretty much it. It still might be at some point, but again, at least some of us, we made a lot of money on this run up, a few different R's. So I took that profit as far as R's are concerned and just reinvested it into here. So I only lost gains that I made, and I can easily live with that. That's not a problem at all. So right now I've only lost an R of profits that I made earlier on that move up. So got stopped out, not the end of the world. Cool. If it bounces, I guess that's fine. But yeah, I was just playing with house money on that one. It didn't work out. Not a big deal. All right, that's NCTY. I think I've updated that in the trading journal because that was, again, a third, a third, and a third. Yep. So all of those stopped out, and that's good. Okay. Next is NSPR. And NSPR, this is one that we got filled with a quarter, a quarter, a quarter, and a quarter. Some of these rando companies, right, they're kind of like medical supplies. I was like, maybe, right? Maybe they'll do something. This one did post a little bit of a new white soldier, one white soldier today. Our stop loss is at the all-time low. So we only need for it to go to here to be breaking even and to here to make money. And if it goes back up to the 50, we'll be pretty profitable in that trade. So I'm going to wait probably a week or two, move the stop to 470, and worst case, we'll lose about 0.7 Rs. But again, the stop on this one was at the all-time low. It was a very, very speculative, like, hey, maybe we'll see. Because again, guys, there was a lot of these random meme, weird stocks that were just kind of running. So I did some searches for some gaps and some volume and said, hey, why not? Let's throw a little bit of random risk out at some stocks just in case, and we'll see what happens. That's one of these scenarios. So I'm not stressed out either way, whatever that does. Mind medicine. So mind medicine so far, not really moving. I do think it's going to take its sweet, sweet time to do anything, well, extremely bullish. So here's the weekly chart, and the weekly chart, again, moving average look like they're doing your thing. You got an inside week last week. So far, we have an inside week this week. You only had one strong bullish momentum bar. Here's a monthly time frame. Monthly time frame trend still looks all right. So you got an inside month, and this is a little bit of a higher high and a higher low. So realistically, I would just say probably just if you're in it, keep waiting. Nothing special, nothing exciting, nothing ridiculous, nothing riveting, just hanging out. Speaking of ridiculous, exciting, and riveting, oh my goodness. Team Newsome from my mentorship group. Are you guys still crushing NVIDIA? So we have been primarily focusing on NVIDIA. This is one of our number one stocks. We back traded this one about 7 times. We went through all the analysis on it. We talked about different strategies. We talked about why we're bullish. All kinds of approaches on this. So Sammy says Bangtown, which has to be a good thing. Sean says that he is in. Jonathan Wage says he sold and got back in on the hammer, which was yesterday. So very cool. Very cool. Ron says I'm long 5 shares. I'm accumulating. Beautiful. Beautiful. I still got my 10 that I got back over here, and it's crazy. Those things are up like $1,800. Those 10 stupid shares. It's kind of incredible. And guys, we still got a whole month until the split. One of the smartest things NVIDIA could have done was announce a split that far away. Ken says, is that bear volume a warning sign? I wouldn't say it's like a massive warning sign. I mean, obviously we can absolutely go lower. Sure, we certainly can. I'm thinking realistically, this is probably a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 A, B, C. We're going to rest for another week, 2 weeks, and then we'll go higher. But I can say this, Ken, if we close above that bear volume, we're just going to keep going. It'll just keep on going. So NVIDIA, this one is paying some people's bills. It also broke out of a very, very nice distribution phase, right? It retested that distribution phase. So here's the breakout of the distribution phase right there. So there's the breakout, and here's the pullback, right? So there's the retracement all up in there, good pullback, and then pop, there it goes. Very, very fun to even see that play out on a weekly chart. But yeah, that was it. Really, really good breakout retest. Okay, cool. That's NVIDIA. I mean, well done for anyone who's in bullish. All right, AFRM Holdings. So AFRM, this is what Mr. Squiggles drew the other day. Had a few traders were looking to get in on AFRM. The good thing is they wanted to get in at 69, and Mr. Squiggles was like, no, get in at 64. So at least you bought the pullback if you played AFRM. Yeah. So if you played AFRM, very well done. All right. ROKU. Now, ROKU is amazing. Obviously, stock that Matt DeLong loves. You guys look at it all the time. I realize that. You also are in this one. So he pyramided in. A lot of traders are in. Myself and Robert Falco got into an iron condor on ROKU, which we're going to unravel very soon. So what we're going to do, Robert, if you're watching, I don't know if Robert's here. I know he was working hard today, so he's probably taking the day off. But I will exit this bear bull put spread down here for a profit. So that one's already profitable. I'll leave the bear call spread open, wait for a pullback, and then unravel and then put a stop on the call. That's what I'm going to do for my credit spread fans. I had 6 traders asking when I would have gotten in on ROKU. And again, I'm not personally in ROKU. I can't be in everything. I will show you a few stocks that I am in on, though. Don't worry. This one's moving really, really well, and I'm extremely excited about it. But I'm not in ROKU personally. I know a lot of you are, and I'm very, very thrilled for everyone who's in. But this right here is that's the candle to get in on, either that or the next candle. That's it. You got to close above this bear candle. You got to close. That's a shaved top bear candle. Close above the 100. When's the last time ROKU closed above the 100? Can you guys see it for me? When's the last time? Remember, I ask myself this on a daily basis. Every time I look at a stock, I always go, when's the last time something happened? Last time was right here, April 6th. Right? Last time it closed above the 100. Did it go higher? Yes, it did. Could you have made money throughout here? Yes, you could have. Did it retest the 100 the next day and bounce off of it? Yes, it did. Do you think ROKU will probably do the same? Wink, wink. Bam. There you go. So when would you have gotten in? The answer there. Right there, 365. That's it. Now, I know this is all hindsight, but again, just use hindsight to make money. You know, like that's a beautiful trade. If you had bought one call option on that day, you're up like mortgage money. You know, if you bought 3 shares, you're up grocery money. So, I mean, do the math, like just increase or decrease, however, whatever's comfortable for you. But that was a great trade on ROKU. And again, shout outs to Matt DeLong. I mean, full disclosure, I don't know many more people more bullish on ROKU than Matt. Matt's been pumping this one from day one. Ever since I've met Matt, he has loved Roku. I don't even think he has a Roku TV. I'm serious. I don't even think he has one. Mostly because he doesn't watch TV. I should probably find out before I just say blasphemous things. Either way, he's been pumping Roku hard. That guy's making some serious money on this one. I love it. I'm really proud of him. And there you go. It's a good 4 white candles in a row. I'll be getting out of my bull put spread for a profit. So if you're an Iron Condor fan, this one's winning. This one's losing. And when it pulls back, I will exit the short call, hold on to the long call, and put a stop on the long call. If it does this, everything is great. If it does that, I'll get stopped out of the long call, and I'll end up losing small between both trades. And that's okay. Right? I got into a credit spread because I didn't think that Roku would have, a 35% move higher in 2 days. Anyway, nice move on Roku. Shout outs to Angela for making absolutely redonkulous money on Roku. I think she made 14 R's in 1 day. That's just asinine. Like, what an amazing job. And by the way, Angela's older than you are. Just letting you know. However old you are, she's likely older. And my girl is a boss. She's an absolute boss. So what a machine. Maloney said she's been my hero since day one. True story. Mine too. Wonderful woman. Very good trader. All right. Next on the list is gold. I want to know where the gold's at. Show me the gold. GLD. All right, team. So here's what's up. I think gold and silver are having a little bit of I think this is a perfect pullback. I think this is a great pullback. A lot of commodities are getting crushed and money is going back into stocks. It's just a natural cycle of things. So growth stocks got absolutely murdered. Gold and silver did okay. Cryptocurrencies did okay. Growth companies return, some of them, not all of them, but some of them, they're coming back to life. Gold and silver pull back some. Cryptocurrencies pull back a lot. GLD, here's the weekly chart. I actually think this is an okay time to consider if you're trying to get in on a gold position. Probably do something non-directional. So if I was getting into gold, I'll be getting into an Iron Condor. Again, I would be doing bear call spreads and bull put spreads down here. So I would condor it out so that if it went nowhere or up a little bit or down a little bit or sideways, I would make money. Again, just my opinion. I think this is a very nice double bottom over here as well. I think this is a nice retest of the neckline. I think this is a lot of bear volume. And if we take out that bear volume, I do think that this gap eventually gets filled. I think gold's in a very nice distribution phase on a big picture. I think it's a beautiful Dow theory chart. And we're hanging out. We're going to chop around for a while. But longer term, got to be bullish on that one. MasterCard, ticker symbol MA. I mean, who here is ever bearish on MasterCard? So no one, right? So MasterCard, I mean, bouncing off the 100 simple moving average, doing its thing, slowly grinding higher. Who can tell me what candlestick pattern this is right here? And again, I did not take this trade. I'm not in it at all. I could have. I feel like I could have. What do you guys think? My boy Ken has been studying. High five, Ken. Even Yates got it correct. Good job, Yates. Yates has been studying for years, studying and doing sit-ups. That's how you get rich. That's why Yates is rich. Wicked pair candle. Wicked pair candle. That's these two. So really, really nice wicked pair. Bouncing off the 100. Good upper shadow. Again, I didn't take this trade, but my entry would be right here. Stop loss would be right there. So that's pretty much it. That's what we got. So bang, you'd be triggered in and you'd still be in. Hooray. So that's MasterCard. Twitter. I do have a few traders in Twitter. I'm not one of them. I had one trader play this hammer candle right here. So here's the hammer, and let me text Matt. I know Matt's in this one. Okay. Not our Matt, another Matt. Text this guy. Yo, Matt, are you still in Twitter? Chart's looking beautiful. All right. So anyway, nice little hammer and just slowly grinded higher from there, really. Yeah, slowly inched up. This was also, and again, I know all this stuff is easy in hindsight, team. I realize that. But look at this bull candle close above bear volume. Ladies and gentlemen, type a 7 into the chat pane if that is obvious. Obvious. Right? Load the boat if you're going to get in. I mean, you got a one white soldier. You got good volume increase. You have a close above this upper shadow, all of this bear candles, all of this bear volume. Ken says, does it have to close above the wick or just the body? So when this candle came in, even though it didn't close above this one single wick, it didn't close above it by 20 cents, right? But it closed on one day. On one day, it closed above the vast majority of this candle, all of this candle, all of this candle, all of this candle, and all of this candle, and this candle, and that candle, all bearish candles. And again, it closed above all of the volume from May 3rd. So even though it didn't close above the entire wick of this candle, this one says at least, hey, you better be getting in. Maloney says, aren't you afraid of such little bullish volume? Not at all. In fact, I get even more excited when a little bit of bullish volume closes above a lot of bearish volume because that really pisses off bear traders. To put it to you this way, if very few people want to sell the stock, what has to happen to price? Right? If very little people are selling, price has to go higher. So you can have very little volume. If no one out there in the whole world is selling, and you just have like 10 people that want to buy Twitter, but no one else in the entire world wants to sell, the stock would skyrocket. You could have 10 human beings that want to buy it. No one wants to sell it. Stock's going to go to the moon. Got to have sellers. So yeah, anyway, long story short, I love that volume. That's amazing volume. And it is an increase in volume. It's the biggest bullish volume that Twitter has had in like 3 months. And the last time it had really, really big volume was up here near all-time highs. Sorry, at all-time highs. So what do you guys think? Is that a good signal? No, right? You don't want huge bullish volume to come in at the highest price ever. That's not a great sign. And you don't want huge bear volume to come in at the lowest prices ever. Got to flip the mindset. Buy low, sell high. Noob city. Let's pick on them. Right? If a bunch of people short at lows, sorry. Yeah, great trade for anyone who's played Twitter. That's awesome. Verizon, talking about strong bear volume at a low. Look at this one. Look at this one. So when's the last time that Twitter had this much bear volume? Sorry, not Twitter. I'm back on Twitter. When's the last time Verizon had this much bear volume? There, and then here. It's the last 2 times. What did it do in both instances eventually? went higher. Plus it's Verizon. Who's out there shorting Verizon? Huge bear volume at a new low, right? Everyone's shorting last 2 times. Because again, remember team, every single stock, I asked myself, what did it do last time? Patterns. This is all patterns. People actually think I'm very good at numbers. I would like you to just erase that from your brains. I'm not good at numbers. I'm good at patterns, not number patterns. You know, I took an IQ test a few years ago. I think it was like 17. So don't like, you don't have to be smart at this. Just look at the past and be like, what did I do last time? And then just, you know, boop, 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 bang. Sean says, could you have done a bull call spread? Absolutely. That would have been a great time to do a bull call spread. So a bull call spread, Sean, is a bullish position, right? You buy a call, sell a call, hope it goes higher, right? You could also do a bull put spread, which is selling a put down here and buying this put. That's also a bullish position. You could have bought shares, you could have bought calls, you could have sold puts. But yeah, or you could have done all of them. Bull call spread, bull put spread, bought shares, sell puts, and buy calls. John Wickhauser. Oh man, you guys are funny. So anyway, that was Verizon. QDEL. QDEL has been riding the struggle bus. So I don't have any positions on this one currently. Next spot I would buy if I was going to would be 99.23. That's the 200 simple on a weekly chart. That's it. And just weigh this one out. I think it can return to grace. I think it can. Type a 9 into the chat if you want to see it close above all this bear volume over there. Yeah, let's see if it can close above it. That'll be interesting. Let's see. We'll still keep on waiting. All right. So QDEL, nothing crazy special on that. Dollar Tree. DLTR. This is where me and my boy Ron get our clothes. A shirt's a shirt. You know, Ron? How's that song go? $50 for a shirt. That's just robbery. Something like that. It's a rap, and I'm not very good at rap. I forget how Macklemore says it articulately. Jonathan says, I go to Dollar General multiple times a week. Different stock, Wage. This is Dollar Tree. Dollar General, Dollar Tree, and Family Dollar. Yeah. I like it. It's pretty impressive. I forget which company came first, but literally there was one of the companies was like, hey, let's just come up with another one. Makes sense. If it works, keep doing it. Just put $1 in the name. All right, Steph, me and you, let's launch Dollar City. Bang. We got a business. All right, so Dollar Tree. Pennant pattern, wait for a close above. I wouldn't be actively looking to short Dollar Tree. It's been a pretty strong bullish uptrending stock. It's right on top of the long-term averages, the 100 and 200. Those look good. Monthly, nice little uptrend, right? All of us here shop at Dollar Tree. I get it. So if it can break above these candles, I'd be looking at bullish positions on Dollar Tree. That's really good. Unity Software. I do have some shares of Unity, not a lot, about 116. I've been slowly accumulating these over time. So I can almost give you the exact candles that I bought some on. I bought a little on that candle, a little bit 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 on that candle. Where's the next gap? That candle, 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 that candle. So pretty much every arrow that you see, I think I bought like 12 shares or something. It was just slowly adding into it. So cost average is like 96, up a little bit. Nothing crazy, but it's a good company. I think a lot of you guys like it. A lot of kids out there I know play on Unisoftware's products and programs. Moving averages have crossed bullish on the daily. Here's your Momo. Momo is bullish on the daily chart since May 25th. If you pop into the 78-minute chart, you've gotten 2 bull Momo signals, one on June 4th and one recently just the other day. So if you're playing some Unity, beauty. All right, HZO, Marine Max. Wow, that's an interesting candle. Very nice gap, good candle, inside candle at a resistance. It's not bad. I would watch this for a gap down and I'd play it semi-short into 43 and I look to buy it around 42, or a gap up tomorrow or break above this candle's high and just run it into the 100. It's pretty simple. Craig says this can make up for Camping World. Yeah, Camping World. Interesting gap on Monday. Good candle, inside candle today. Weekly candle chart has a morning star reversal. Trend is slowly grinding higher, but previous all-time high was back at 36. Yeah, it looks okay. Marine Max. Craig says they can't get boats to sell fast enough. That I have heard. Is this only out of Florida, by the way? Is that why it has FL in here? That's a real question. I actually don't know. Sammy says they've gone up like 30%. Yeah, boats, people are, team, I'm telling you, when these masks fully come off, wow. I mean, the world's going to party. Jonathan says, maybe I should sell my boat and rebuy on the dip. Yeah. If you got a boat and you're profitable on it, man, who's ever bought a boat and then sold it for more money? Jeez. That is an impressive thing. You could write a blog on that, Jonathan Wage. That never happens. That's amazing. Chris Dallas says, just sold mine for more than I paid for it 6 years ago. What? Wow. COVID. You're the best investor of all time, dude. It's really wild. I mean, I'm very proud for anyone who can make money on any asset. Like if you own any asset, I should probably go try to sell some rocks. I got rocks in my backyard. Like I probably should need to go sell some of these things. Man. Anyway, guys, the airports are crazy. Airports are crazy. Slammed. And I don't think it's going to go away. And here's the other thing. I'm not gonna get political. This is just a statement of which I know to be relatively true. I haven't fact checked it, but I have heard from numerous sources that currently there's a lot of people who are getting unemployment checks right now for $1,000 a week. $1,000 a week on unemployment. So they're not working, making more money, allegedly. I don't know. I'm not getting these checks. Than they would if they are working. Yeah, $1,000 a week, 48 grand a year. And since that's more money than they made at work, they're living their best life right now. So they're traveling like crazy, buying up all kinds of things because they're getting $1,000 a week to do nothing. So now it will be over, I think, in September. So again, I'm not sure of all the numbers or whatever, but I know absolutely for sure that there are some people who are making more money than they were making at work, and they're not doing anything. They're just getting checks. It'll be over soon, but they're traveling right now like crazy. So I think coming into September, we could still continue to slowly grind higher. We could have a September, October dip and then buy that dip for November. Long story short, I'm extremely excited to see what the markets can provide for us, right? Markets can provide all kinds of opportunities for every single one of us. Let's just go take advantage of those opportunities, All right. DRNA pharmaceuticals. This is probably one that Craig Levine likes. He loves pharmaceutical companies. He likes those high beta plays. DRNA. It sounds like that lab that was in Jurassic Park. Big resistance today. It retested twice and then broke out. Good trend, perfect buying candle here on June 2nd. Even better on June 3rd, broke out and crushed higher here. And now you got an inside hammer. So I would just assume to buy the dip on this one. Yeah, it looks okay. If it pulls back to 33, I think it's buyable. And if it breaks out this candle, get in. Red Robin Gourmet Burgers, and their burgers are gourmet. I'll come out and say it. If anyone here knows how to get Red Robin to sponsor me, I'd sell out. Milkshakes, endless fries, great hamburgers. I'd sell out. Mike says, do they still have bottomless fries? Yeah, they do. That they do. I have back traded this stock about 15 times from inception, and I never win on it. I know what it does, but I don't really win on the chart. It's a really, really choppy chart. And it's still in between a bunch of moving averages, the daily, the weekly, the monthly. I'd probably leave this one alone. There's better stocks out there. If you want to accumulate it and just buy some shares and then hopefully sell those shares at a higher price later, I think that's fine. But in general, kind of excited to see what it's going to do. ATHA, I don't have a position on this one. Obviously, I had a huge gap down. Another biotech, health technology company, pharmaceutical. My assumption is if it breaks above the high of this candle, go bullish because it's so far down here. You could also zoom into an hourly chart, turn the extend hours and see if you want to try to play a double bottom. If you buy down here, you are trying to catch a falling knife. There's only so much the knife can fall, but you do want a place to stop. So maybe 10 by 8 could be one way to play it. Or if it breaks out above the candle and looking for a small gap fill. It's a possibility. It's not an extremely high possibility, but it has some edge to it. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I love it when I get lucky. I rarely do get lucky, but I did get lucky today. I have no idea why Upwork surged 11%. My biggest, now my biggest holding. And it's perfect. I had a covered call on this one that expired worthless on Friday. Last Friday, this blue line had a $50 covered call. We closed at $47.12. So got a free $1 per share. I'm up to about 5,000 shares total on Upwork, and got another covered call July at 60. So you guys all know, type in a 2 if you know that this is one of the ones I've been in on hardcore since the pullback. I think I made that very clear. I say it every time I pull it up. So if you guys are in on this one, beautiful. Jonathan has 54 shares. Better than zero. Better than zero. But again, sometimes you got to know when to go big, and there was zero reason not to go big on this one. Zero. I use them. Everyone uses them. A great company, great fundamentals, good inverted head and shoulders pattern. Great close. So my assumption on this is probably a little bit of a rest and then a grind higher. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to come up with some targets and some fibs on it later, but 70 by the end of the year is very possible. I'm going to try to be as patient as I can on this one. If I get called away at 60, I will not cry about it. And I'm just going to sit back, relax, and let's see what happens. But yeah, pretty pleased about Upwork. Extremely lucky, obviously. That was one of the bigger movers of the day. But again, it's good to be in than not in sometimes. All right. Request for tomorrow. We got crypto requests. Perfect. I can definitely look at crypto tomorrow. My thoughts are this is needed and expected by the pullback. All right. ROL Rollins. Got it. Square. Got it. Rhea says, thanks, Jeremy. Have a great day. You as well, champion. Okay. Pinterest, Polkadot, CrowdStrike, DCN, CRCT, PayPal. Absolutely. Beautiful squad. Well, I'm going to be here tomorrow, hopefully same time, same place. If you guys have any questions between now and then, just hit me up. Love you all. Thank you for being a part of my life. Thank you for enriching lives with me. And until next time, love life, live life, and trade it. Goodbye.